And we are officially opening Sacred Success Salon in this amazing time where we are right now literally creating a new reality. I cannot imagine being here at this first conversation with anybody other than amazing Waxela. Hello, Waxela. So great to have you.
Hello, Anna. It's so good to be here again. I always love my time with you and our conversations. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so great. And you're going to help us open up into this new realm of possibility. So let me just introduce you. First of all, you know me, Anna Kowalska. I'm your host. And the conversation we are having in Sacred Success Salon is about the awakened leaders impacting more people, living on purpose and claiming prosperity right now on this planet Earth, in these human bodies, opening a whole new realms of possibility. And let me introduce you to our first guest. So excited it's our first conversation. It's you, Waxela. Waxela Sananda is an activator of spiritual gifts, an embodiment coach and galactic shaman, and ascension trainer. And you have been, first of all, you're a repeat guest at Salon. And I'm so excited because every single time you come in, there is magic that happens. And I know that is exactly what's waiting for our viewers right now, that whatever it is that we are stepping into with this salon, you are the one to help us step into.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm happy to be the one to open the portal for the new salon and just shine the light on all the people who are here to experience it.
So amazing. So let's talk about that. So last year, exactly a year ago, we started a conversation in the salon about the leaders having to step up and own our gifts, own our brilliance, own our light. And now we are a year later and world is doing whatever it's doing. And here we are. I feel the call increase, intensify, for us to really own that there is something we are creating right now. And I know, right before we click the record button, you shared so amazingly that there is a portal that you have experienced just a little bit ago. So let's talk about, what does it mean that the new realms are opening and new possibilities, new realities are opening? And then what's our role in that?
Yeah. So what it means is, absolutely, we get to step up at this time. And I think, it's kind of that time where the leaders feel the call, and everybody has a leader within you. Everyone has an inner leader. So it's really about listening to that voice inside that's saying, hey, I don't want to be left behind. I want to step up. I want to shine. I want my voice to be heard, and to honor that part of ourselves and allow that, that opening to happen from the inside out, to step into your vision of who you are here to be in the world. And of course, that looks different for each unique individual. For my experience of that, I will be honest, I'm a shaman, and shamanism, and I'm a galactic shaman, which is a specific type of shaman where I interact with galactic beings. But I was thinking about it. It's kind of like the edge of the sword between curiosity and terror a lot of the time, because
I love it.
because going it's constantly being faced by the demons, right? Inner, outer, they're reflected to us, facing them and taking those bold steps to confront what's present. And then sometimes being like, okay, I'm done, I don't want any more, seen enough here. But then curiosity is always present. So it's that courageousness for me. Cultivating courageousness, it doesn't mean it's always a blissful journey. I mean, bliss is like one of the end results, that I get to tap into here and there, but it comes at the price of willingness to confront the shadow, confront the stuff that would have us hold back, And so for me, stepping into myself as a galactic shaman, shaman,
Mhm.
as a portal holder, a Stargate keeper, someone who interacts with galactics. That takes courage for me. It's not naturally, I mean, it is naturally what I do, but it hasn't always been naturally fearless. We'll just say that it came with confronting fears. And so that is what this time is about. Like, whatever your inner demons are, whatever that thing is that has had you playing small, holding back, not being visible, not being seen or heard in your life, now is the time to open that up, open your heart and say yes to yourself and your calling. Because if not now, when? This is where the energies are flooding in, and we get to step into the fullness of being in this new energy. And it's time. It is time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I love that you are, as you're talking about the demons, right? As you are sharing it, I'm like, well, of course, because everything in our world right now, as we're creating, opening into these new realities. And I do want you to share about the portal, the Lumerian portal that you saw, that you witnessed, because I think it's just so amazing. Yet, before you share that, I want to go back into the demons, right? Because as we are opening up to more light, right, we are going to have to face more darkness. I keep saying it. I'm not the only one. You just said it so beautifully, right? We're going to have to face the demons, the external ones that are just reflecting the internal ones, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So yeah, what that looks like is, as we level up, and this is part of what I teach in ascension training, every time we reach a new level of our evolvement, of our ascension, of our embodiment, of our divinity, then everything that was previously stopping us from being at that level, even if it's stuff we've dealt with before, it's going to come up. It's like putting, I'm getting this visual and clairvoyant. So as I'm talking, I'm seeing, like, if we are a cup of water, which we kind of are, a glass of water, right? So we allow more of ourselves in, we allow more of our spirit, more of our divinity to be anchored into the body. Then some of that old stuff is going to have to overflow. It's going to have to spill out. And that's the stuff that doesn't fit with higher consciousness, higher heart awakening, higher mind. It's the stuff that doesn't align with the higher truth of who we are. That stuff has to flush out. And we're going to notice it as it's flushing out. That's the shadow work that we get to do over and over. Every time we level up, the demons or the shadow will come up to be cleared, not to stop us and hold us back, but then we get to choose how powerful are we going to be when that stuff shows up. Are we going to shrink back and be like, okay, no, I've seen enough, I'm done, I'm just going to hang out back here now, because that's scary. And it's okay if you have that reaction, but to notice, oh, look what I'm doing that thing where I shrink back. And when you notice it, then to make a new choice and recommit. It's so much about what we're committing to in the process. And if you're committed to your purpose and to serving and to being generous in your service, then you get to look at those, the shadow and the demons and the stuff that's been holding you back, and let it go. And then, I like to say, when you focus, put your laser focus on it rather than looking the other way. We don't like to look at the ugly stuff, right? But if we laser focus into it and really give it our presence, give it our awareness, then we get to see how we can transform from it. And then we get to let it go and hold the higher version of who we truly are.
Wow, I love it. So how does this fit into this idea that we are opening up to the new realities, and at the same time, right? Because as within, so without. So all the stuff that's spilling over through us as we fill in and I love the vision of, like, the tall glass that we are. Isn't that a saying, like, she's a tall drink of water or something?
Yeah.
I remember when I first learned what it was. So I don't know why it just came in, but laughter is good. So as we fill in, and the what's no longer aligned, the shadow aspect of ourselves spills out. I mean, that's what's happening in the outside too, right? And it's so easy, I think, shouldn't say easy, but the default for us, the spiritual beings, is always to say, I don't want to see, like, this is not the stuff I want to look at, right? for ourselves and in the outside world. Like, this is the ugliness I don't want to see, the part of humanity that I don't want to pay attention to. How do you manage it for yourself? Not so you don't ignore, because I know you don't, but at the same time, keep your vibration and focus and commitment to where it is we're going, which is the whole new other way of being human, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question, Anna, because it is, I think there is this thing that we do in the world of spirituality in particular, that it's almost like the two teachings that don't make sense together. One is, pay attention to what's wrong in the world and contribute to it and put all of your focus there and give and be generous and love and all that stuff, right? And take care of the needy and the sick and the hurting and all that. And the martyrs end up going there, right? And spilling out and giving all of themselves to that, and sometimes being totally depleted from it. And empaths and we feel so much, right? And then there's this other side that's like, okay, if you're a conscious life creator and you're creating your life, then just pretend that none of that ugliness exists and just be over here in the world of conscious life creation and creating my life. Everything's wonderful. I'm going to totally ignore and pretend that doesn't exist and everything's beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And I'm all up here in the clouds and life is ecstatic and nothing's wrong, right?
Right.
So there are these two sides that you see people get stuck in each of them. And so I would say, the shamanic path, or the path of the awakened leader, is to be aware of both at all times. And there is this, that's why I say, like, it's walking the fine edge of like terror and curiosity at the same time sometimes, because we're aware, as conscious beings, we're aware of everything that's not working. We're aware that there is negativity and war and darkness and sickness and all of those things. And we're aware that we are creating a new reality where there's higher consciousness, heart connection, love, operating from higher mind, embodying our spirit and being more present in our life. And so that doesn't mean ignoring, and it also doesn't mean getting stuck in. So the way of being in that is compassionate. And so when something comes to my awareness, like I'm passionate about the ocean cleanup, and I just watched Seaspiracy. If you haven't seen it, you got to see Seaspiracy on Netflix, I think. But it's about the oceans and everything, like the stuff that's going on there. But it's not that I'm ignoring it. I'm making a conscious choice based on, because I love fish. I don't eat mammals. I never have eaten mammals, and I've eaten fish. But now I'm like, oh, you know what? Me eating fish actually contributes to some of the cause that is close to my heart that I desire to change. So I'm making a new choice now with my new information, not ignoring it. And I just did an Earth Day contribution to the ocean cleanup as well, but not ignoring it anymore. Now I'm only eating fish where I know that it's sustainably caught by a fisherman, preferably a fisherman that I'm aware of, that I know, or at least a company that I really trust. And that is an upgrade to ignorance and to not doing anything, right? So it's sometimes it's subtle, and these little incremental things to be balanced. I'm not getting stuck in the horrors of the fishing industry. I could go there and get really dark, but who's that going to serve?
Right.
What I can do is make little changes and make contributions and share what I've learned and make a sustainable change in my way of eating food and being in the world that's going to be a contribution to, to more. And then every time I go out to eat, I live in Florida, there are a lot of fish places here. So every time I go to a fish place and I ask a question about, oh, well, I might like to eat this, but where is it from? And, oh, that's by a local, a local fisherman. Okay, great. If it's not, then probably not. But then people will ask questions about that. Like, oh, really? What's the deal with that? And people want to know. And that's just one small example of,
I love it.
embodying a higher awareness,
Mhm.
making it, not just watching it and ignoring it, not just
Mhm.
watching it and getting like sucked into it or learning about something and getting like overwhelmed by it, but
Yeah.
to make sustainable changes in your life. And if we all do these small, sustainable, incremental changes step by step, we all arise out of it together.
Yeah. This is so great, Waxela, because I know the rooms you play with. I know how far your consciousness goes and how high your consciousness goes. Yet what you just shared was such a beautiful, practical way in how we are creating a new reality, right? In these tiny little steps. And what I loved about that is, and you guys that are watching right now, what I'm hearing you share, Waxela, is like, what do I value? And how can I align the simplest little steps that I take? Maybe not everything, because that could be overwhelming, but maybe I start with the food I eat, right? Maybe I start with where do I buy things, right? Not that anything is wrong or right, but what is aligned with your values? What is reflecting the human being that you want to live, the way you want to live, and the kind of world you want to live in, right? I love it because it's a very grounded way to be connected to the higher consciousness while being on a physical plane in a human body. Mhm.
Exactly. And, we get to be in these bodies and it gets to be fun and we get to have fun with them and play. And it's not about, for me, I don't believe it's about suppression. For some people it is. There's nothing wrong if that's your choice. I'm actually very interested in learning breatharianism. That's
I know.
something that's fascinating to me, and I'm actually going to enroll in a course and
Are
truly
you?
learn it so that I have the option. Yeah,
Yeah.
not because I never want to eat food again, because I want to know what would it be like to not depend on food,
Mm.
just to be able to have that experience. It's interesting to me. So I might just be doing that in the next year off and on. And so it's really, we get to vote. We get to vote with our money. We
Mhm.
get to, every dollar we spend is a
Yeah.
vote for
Yeah.
something, to
Mhm.
look at where are we putting our energy and
Mhm.
our time and our money, because that's all us voting for the type of world that we want to live in.
Mhm.
I have a spiritual teacher that I was listening to along these lines of, everything. He's also a trader, a day trader. And
They're great.
yeah. And so he's like, we're always trading. We're always trading. And, for instance, you're trading time for friendship.
Mm.
If your relationships
Yeah.
for time, if you want to
Mhm.
have sustainable intimacy in all of your relationships, then
Mhm.
you get to contribute time. You're trading time,
Mhm.
right? It's not, we don't think
Yeah.
of it like that, but that really landed for me. I'm like, yeah, we're voting and we're choosing what our lives are going to be like based on where do we put our time, our energy, our money? What do we spend our thought time on? What are we thinking
Mm.
about? What are we feeling? What are we feeling
Yeah.
about? We get to choose how we feel. And so why not feel what we want, what we
Mhm.
desire,
Mhm.
feel what we want to feel and cultivate that,
Mhm.
versus just being at effect of what's coming at us.
Yeah. So great. I love this conversation, Michelle, and I love how it's just setting the tone for where we are going, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just love because every single time you gave an example of the trading or us being more aware and more conscious. Again, it's grounding it in our experience as human beings right now. And I'm hearing that actually from quite a few people that I followed over the years, spiritual teachers, right? That are really bringing that awareness, like really pointing our attention. It gets to be right here in your body, and the choices you make as a human being. It's no longer, not that it's wrong to meditate. Still, we get to meditate. Yet, right? That's where you prepare yourself for who you are when you are walking every
Mhm.
single
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I meditate every day,
Mhm.
but not, I used to meditate every day for 1 to 2 hours, or, there was a period of time where I was like 3 hours.
I love it.
I generally don't do that anymore. I mostly do a meditation, a shorter, 20 to 25 minutes before I get out of bed. And then as I'm drifting off to sleep. So the sleep one isn't even a sitting up anymore. It's a conscious, creating dream time. before I enter into sleep. And I find that that makes my dreams more lucid, more aware. And I just continue in, it's like the whole dream time becomes a meditation when I do that. So yeah, I mean, there's absolutely, meditation is for balancing, there's just so much
Yes.
information. And
Yes.
so meditation is just for clearing that, well, different types, for clearing and balancing. And then also for me, very much for conscious life creating. I get to envision and imagine and set up what is my life going to
Yes.
be like tomorrow.
Right. And
Yeah.
that to me is the new realm we are creating, right? Being conscious and aware about what we are creating. So would you want to share with us, because I know we are being supported by energies that are helping us create this new experience as human, right? So we are aware, we're conscious, we make choices, and there are energies to support us to really embody more of that. So can you share your experience? Because when you were sharing with me, I got goosebumps, and I would love our audience to benefit from that, through you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, part of what I do as a Stargate keeper, I interact interdimensionally.
Yeah.
So this is going to be far out for some people that aren't used to this conversation. That's fine. Just take what works for you and
Yeah.
leave the rest.
Yeah.
So when I work interdimensionally, I will literally open up into other realms and experience other dimensions of being, other realms of being. These are, you can think of them like layered. It's not necessarily going anywhere. It's all right here, right now, because our consciousness is not bound by time and space. Our
Right.
consciousness is everywhere. So if you think about that, that's how people shapeshift. That's how, you can experience the consciousness of a flying eagle by shifting your consciousness to that eagle. So this is something that I do regularly in meditation. It's not always something I can plan. I do have a lot of guidance, and there is a lot of energy right now coming in and guiding us if we're open to it. And so just last month I was in Mexico, and it was Riviera Maya, and I went out to watch the sunrise, walk the beach for sunrise, and I have a sunrise ritual. I'm a sun gazer. I watch the sun as it comes up, and I interact with it. And the sun is a holder. It's a 12th dimensional consciousness. And so when you're attuned to it, I've spent a lot of time connecting to the sun and opening to receive information and frequency from the sun. And so I was doing that. I had actually finished my walk. I was sitting as the sun was rising on a palapa. And as I was sitting there, I went into this communion space with the sun, and my hands went up like this, and across from me was my twin flame. And my twin flame is a being that is not incarnate. So nevertheless, I experienced my twin flame energy as a him, just a balance of energies. I'm a her here in this experience. So he was across from me, and our hands were up, and between us opened up the portal. It was a golden light realm, and I was receiving information as I was experiencing it, the portal to New Lemuria. And it's a golden realm in that it's a Christ consciousness realm. It's a realm of high heart, high mind awakening. And you must attain some level of spiritual adeptness, of mastery, self-mastery, in order to enter into this realm. But there are people there now living there. And I got to sit in that energy and experience the golden realm of New Lemuria, and the beauty and the brilliance of that space, the high consciousness, some of the themes that really stay with my heart are the connectedness. The people there are connected to each other. They're connected to the earth. They're connected to the galactics. They're just connected in a way that we could never look at someone suffering and walk by, because you feel it. And there is this communal heart experience where that heart is supporting everyone, and everyone is a part of the same heart. And so you feel what everyone's feeling. It's very psychic, not that we can't speak there, we can, but there's a greater understanding energetically. When I'm sitting with you, I feel you. I feel I feel your burdens. I feel your joys. I feel your heart. And there's an openness to that, men included. There's this level of vulnerability that we rarely experience in 3D living. Now, many people that are here in what we would perceive as 3D are very, awakened and ascended and do have open hearts, do experience vulnerability, do experience connectedness. The empaths, it's very difficult for extreme empaths here because they do feel so much and are so open, and the world is just really tough on an empath. But I always say being empath is a superpower because you were built for 5D. You were not built for 3D. Your heart is a 5D, and you get to bring that feeling experience. You're the bridge. You're the bridges, or we are, because I am one too. I shut it down for a long time. You are too. So we're the bridges between the realms, and we can feel that. So I'm inviting everyone just to have your heart open. Go into your next meditation with an open heart, and just be open to feeling that level of love and support and connection, and even, mental clarity and focus. And the golden realm is full of ascended masters and beings. They're just so present and ready to contribute and assist and help. And that doesn't mean that they're not here and now. It just, in the 3D experience, 3 to 5, wherever you happen to be. But it does mean that it feels more removed here than it does in that experience. It's just what it is. There's no 3D experience there. That doesn't mean you don't ever feel pain or struggle or challenge. The challenges happen there too, but there's this connection that goes way beyond the third dimensional experience of being connected.
Breathe that in, everybody, because that was really beautiful. It moved me. It moved me to your words just made it present. And I love that what you shared, we all, I in my opinion, is where we're all going, right? Like that is where we're going. That is what we aspire to. And whether it happens in this physical expression or not, I know that's where we're going. And then as you were sharing, I'm like, people ask how, right? And yeah, one of the ways for sure is to commune with nature, let your heart be open. And so often, I know that's true for me, I shut down my heart because I felt like I had to take care of everything and everybody that was having a problem because I felt their pain. Now, I didn't realize it for the longest time, that's what was going on, but it was, me needing to solve everybody's problem. And eventually it meant that anybody who ever said, I'm having an issue with money, I don't care what the issue was, I would just give them money, right? So that became dangerous to my pocket. And what I love about what you shared, Waxela, is that in those small daily decisions, when we align with living with an open heart, because that's basically what it is, right? Keep opening your heart to what's going on in the world. Don't shut it down. Keep opening your heart. And I heard from somebody, you cannot solve every single problem. So tune into, like you so beautifully said, I'm passionate about clean oceans. So you're putting your energy and your focus on how do I contribute whatever I can of my being to that. And whether it's money, like for the Earth Day, which I saw you do a drive for that, it was so great. It flashed through my social media. I love that. And then when you're choosing every day, when you choose what to eat and you ask a question, right? Raising somebody else's curiosity, so it raises the consciousness of their choices. They might go in home and say, hey, who made my bread? Right?
Yeah, right.
Maybe I no longer buy bread in plastic, right? So it's like, how do we get there? How do we get there? And yes, one of the ways is for sure connecting with nature, meditation, prayer, opening a heart. And it's through the choices we make every day. And the choices we make every day, to me, it's also with the choices we make with what we contribute. So back full circle to where you started, we are being called to rise up. right? Share our gifts. Empaths. I think empaths are the ones that are like, I think first of all, empathy is the biggest, it's like the strongest sales quality. I think empaths are the best salespeople. Salespeople meaning the ones who actually will help you make a decision whether it's something is for you or not. So it's a gift, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this is what I'm hearing. It's like a full circle. Come back and align with what really matters to you. Come back and align with what does your heart yearn for,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. And something you said is this is where we're all going. I would say, it's where we already are.
Yeah.
We just haven't uncovered it
Yeah. I
fully in
love it.
most cases.
I
It's
love it.
already here.
Mhm.
And these ways of being, it's who you already are. And that's why, always listen to what speaks to your heart, what calls you and says, there are so many causes, like there, millions of causes good causes we could get involved in. You look at what tugs at your heartstrings. That's how you know that that's your cause. Certainly you can't do a lot for every one of them, but you can do a lot for one or
Yes.
two,
Yes.
So you listen to what's in your heart and what's calling you, and then that's where you contribute and vote with your dollar and vote with your time.
Yes.
And
I love that.
it's already in us. And those things that, the things that we've been holding ourselves back, it's just like, chipping away at the exterior and letting the truth of your being out more and more. And it feels good. It feels good to step into that and own it. Own your, I like to say, like, own your freak flag. Just let yourself go, because the more unique you are, the more of your individuality you bring out. There's only one you. You're the only one. So you get to be the most you can be. So let it go, and just don't hold it back, because this is what the world wants from you, for you to be truly your unique self. And that's your gift. Whoever you are and whatever it is, that is your gift, fully being you and being present with that.
So amazing. I love it. Waxela, you just shared so much. And I am still like, there is this bright, it's by the way cloudy right now as we're recording, but there is this like brightness of the light, like of the sun that you were describing. There's just like this brightness that I am getting from the energy that you opened up for us, which is amazing.
Yeah, well, the sun is always there, and the sun is so generous. Think about it. Even when there are clouds, the sun is still back there shining and giving us those high frequencies. Luckily I'm in Florida, so we get a lot of sunshine, the sunshine state, but I take sunshine breaks. When I'm online all day, I plant myself, like today, in front of the window, and I open up the door and I run outside, even if it's just for a minute, 30 seconds, and I'll take a sunshine break and just soak up some of that sun and just be grateful. And just the warmth of the sun, the way it opens the heart. I'm so grateful for that. So it doesn't have to be some amazing big thing that you do. It could just be like, go commune with the sun and the earth, take your shoes off and step on the grass and be present for a moment with what the beauty is around you. And it's very uplifting, and that will ascend your frequency as fast as anything.
So amazing, because again, you shared another way of connecting with that higher frequency that it's already available here right now for us, that we don't have to do anything special for, other than allow ourselves to have a moment of time, right, on the grass with your feet, bare feet on the grass in the sun. I know my dog loves to go and just lie out in the sun, and he'll just like 5 minutes and he'll come back in, and then he'll go back out, right? And I watch him and I'm like, wow, he knows what it's about, right? He just sits there, and he's so small, but he'll sit there and his eyes closed and just put his face in the sun. And I'm like, he gets it. Yeah. I love what you shared with us today, Waxela, because again, you merge this higher consciousness, a new realm that we are already, and I know you said that. I love that you said that. We already living here. It's already here. We just get to allow ourselves to step into, and you merge that with every single day choices that we get to make. And how do we get to be with the curiosity and what did you call it? The curiosity. You didn't call it a fear.
Sword between curiosity and terror.
Terror. I love the drama of that. It's like, because it is how it is, right? It's the terror. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. It's the sword between the curiosity and the terror. I love it. So amazing. I have a whole bunch of visuals happening for me right now. It's so great. Waxela, I know you have an amazing gift for our audience, and you have already gifted us so much. And this is just the beginning, because you have two things actually. One, could you share with us with a gift? That's right. Those of you who have been here before, there is a golden button below this video where you get to claim the first gift from Waxela. Could you tell us what it is?
Absolutely. So this is a masterclass. It's called Evolving Consciousness Masterclass. And I did a little write-up so I would remember all the amazing things in this class. So it is a deep meditation experience as well as a lecture, or conversation. So I bring in the pineal activation frequencies. That's the high mind. Heart awakening activation, high heart. And I'm all about joining high heart and high mind to be an activated ascending being. Receiving gifts of guidance, anchoring divinity into the base of the spine. And I bring in the 12th dimensional central sun frequencies so everyone can really have a feeling experience of that. And the crystalline heart center of Gaia, the Mother Earth, bringing that up and communing with her. The embodiment of the divine frequency, so you can really step in and feel, what does 5D consciousness and 5D living feel like? And so, it's a meditation, an activation, a harmonization, and an alignment. And it's all in one master class. So you can register and that'll come right to your inbox.
I love it. I cannot wait to experience it myself. So amazing. So you can find that under the button below this video. Just click the button, claim the gift. And I know right before we got onto the recording, you mentioned there is something else that's out there, it's available, and you wanted to make it available to our audience. So there is a link in the bio. Could you just mention what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called The Portal to New Lemuria. I just barely brushed into that experience of New Lemuria, and it's really about 5D. And I talk about, the new Earth. Well, New Lemuria is a state in the new Earth, a state of being, not a state of boundaries. And so I did a class on this and shared about it. And I made that free on my YouTube channel. So anyone can go watch it at any time. You don't even have to register. You can just pop into YouTube and watch it. If you do, I would love for you to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy it.
So great. And the link for that is right in the bio. So go find it. So amazing. Thank you, Waxela, for bringing all this beautiful energy, for opening of our salon, and really setting the stage for what we're talking about as we keep creating and opening the new realms for us leaders, awakened leaders, to step into our purpose, live on purpose, and claim our prosperity, which you brought in the sun and the golden energy of the sun. I mean, that to me represents, and I know we talk a lot about money, and money is a representation of a frequency. So I love that you brought that symbology in, because that's how it's showing up right now. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Anna. And thank you for this beautiful container. And I just see your entire salon being bathed in golden light and the golden realm of prosperity. And I really appreciate your work in the world and all that you contribute. So thank you. And thank you to all who are viewing and watching. Thank you for being a contribution and doing your work. I appreciate all of you so much.
So great. Thank you so much. And yes, thank you for tuning in. There is so much more in Salon, in this particular edition of a Salon, that you get to tune into to stay in a high vibration and focused, committed to what it is you are here to bring in through you. So thank you for being here, and see you at the next conversation. Bye for now. Thank you, Waxela.
Namaste.